Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab and today's video, which is going to be my review and demo of the brand new Sonia G Sky Face Set. I know a lot of you have found my channel through my makeup brush reviews, and when I saw these teased, I absolutely knew I was going to have to pick them up. I'm a huge fan of her brushes. I own absolutely every brush she has ever made, and when I saw these, I knew I was going to get them. In the video, I'll show you close-ups of the brushes as well as clips of me using the brushes and the different steps of my makeup application so that you can see how they perform. And of course, I'll share my thoughts and opinion on each brush individually. Before we get into my review, if you're new to my channel, I'm Yori. Thank you for clicking on my video. I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll consider subscribing and joining my makeup family for brand new videos 3 times a week, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Now, without any further delay, let's get into this review. Sonia G brushes are available exclusively on Beautylish. I talk about Beautylish really often as another makeup retailer. It's a smaller company based out of San Francisco, I believe, and I have always experienced really good customer service from the company, and I enjoy purchasing from them very, very frequently. I'm already starting to look forward to the annual Beautylish Lucky Bags. These brushes launched on Monday, September 16th, and as of today, I'm filming on Saturday, September 21st. The brushes are already sold out. I am not surprised at all. Sonia G's brushes have been impeccable quality from day one. The brushes are available as a set. They are called the Sky Face Sets. They are inspired by the sky, as the name would suggest, and that's why she has the brand new blue handles. Her brushes in the past have had red handles. So they're available as a set, and the retail price is $270. But along with that price tag, you're getting handcrafted natural hair brushes that are absolutely stunning. These brushes are all brand new shapes, and they are in the Pro line, which means that they have the tapered handle as opposed to the larger handle that she had in her original releases. Let's look at the brushes one by one. The first one is the soft cheek brush, and this is a dyed goat hair brush. It is a beautiful, beautiful brush. I find that it has longer bristles than her other brushes in her collection, and it has a beautiful, beautiful domed shape to it. I wanted to start with this brush because in my opinion, this one is the most unique of the 5 brushes that she just launched, in that I really can't find anything in her collection that is remotely similar to this one. Now, this is a brush that you can use for a beautiful cheek product application. Today I used it to set my under eye concealer, as you'll see in the clip, and I also used it to set my foundation. Because the bristles are a little bit longer, they have a lot of give, and I find that I can get a really, really light sheer application of powder, which is my personal preference being a dry skin type. I like to powder my foundation for longevity and also because I don't like the sticky feel, and this applies just the tiniest amount of powder to get rid of that feel, and it doesn't disturb my foundation at all. You can definitely use this powder for many purposes, and all of the brushes in the line are very multi-purpose. Even though it's labeled soft cheek, you can definitely use it for contour. You can use it for all over face powder. It's an incredibly soft brush for setting underneath the eye. So it's a very versatile brush and one that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorites from the new release. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at the Worker Fan Brush. Sonia G is a fan of fan brushes, and there's a lot of them in her collection, and this one is one of the larger ones that she has launched. It's called the Worker Fan. I used it today to apply my bronzer. It's made of undyed goat hair, so if you wanted to use this with more creamy products, you absolutely definitely could as well, but I do like it for bronzer. I love her original released fan brush for bronzer application because it gives you a very diffused one. This one is a little bit more densely packed than that one, even though it is smaller, so I find that it gives you a little bit more pigmentation. You can definitely use this for contouring. You can apply bronzer, you can apply blush. It's a very versatile brush as well. I actually gained an appreciation for fan brushes once I started purchasing her brushes, because originally I just had the very small fan brushes that some people typically use to apply highlight. Never had I attempted to use a fan brush like this for all over face application, and I find that I really enjoy it. I did enjoy this one for my bronzer application today, and I do want to compare it to brushes that exist in her line. So I have two of them, and both of these are actually dyed goat hair, so you can use the blue one for cream products where you wouldn't use these in that regard. Now this one was her very first Sculpt 2 brush, which has a similar fan shape, but as you can see, it's a lot smaller. And this one is also labeled Sculpt 2 because she remade the original brush, and this one is a little bit bigger. And when you compare them, you can see that even the newer Sculpt 2 is still smaller than the brand new Worker fan. So hopefully that gives you an indication as to the size of the brush. It's a beautiful, soft brush, and I can't wait to continue to use it. Next, we have the mini cheek brush, and this was a brush that has a combination of dyed and undyed goat hair. It's the second time she uses that technique in the creation of the brushes. She did have that in the Pro Face set with this brush here, which is the Detail Pro brush, as well as a larger angled face brush, but you can see that it has a combination of both types of fibers. It gives the brush a lot of mobility and a lot of flexibility to pick up different kinds of powders. Today I used the mini cheek brush to apply my highlight, and I was working from the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm palette, which is actually a very firmly pressed powder, but this brush picked it up with absolutely no trouble, and I got a very diffused, really well blended highlight application. I applied the highlight completely dry, and it's just beautiful. Now this brush is small enough that you can use it for under eye setting, and just touching it to my under eye, it is so incredibly soft. I could really see myself using this to set my under eye concealer. Absolutely. I could also see myself using it for setting eyeshadow base. You can use it for a very sharp contour, nose contour, absolutely everything. It's such a beautiful, beautiful brush. And to compare it to something existing in her line, this is the Detail Pro brush. So the bristles are going to be those blended fiber bristles where you have dyed and undyed goat hair. However, the Detail Pro brush is very rounded in shape, whereas the mini cheek brush has that pinched ferrule to create more of a teardrop shape. The new mini cheek brush is also just a tad bigger than the original Detail Pro brush. Next, we have the classic cheek brush, and this one is undyed goat hair, as you can see. This is the brush I used to apply my blush today, and I went in with a very, very light hand because this brush picks up product really, really easily, but the nice thing is that it diffuses it so well as well, so you don't end up with any harsh lines and you get a beautiful diffused powder application. I absolutely love it. I did want to compare this brush to an existing one in her line, and the one I chose to compare it to is the Face 2 brush, which is one that I personally enjoy for contouring. And essentially what you have here are similar lengths of the bristles, except for the ferrule of the new classic cheek brush is a little bit pinched, where this one is again perfectly rounded. Also, the hairs on this brush are positioned so you get more of that teardrop shape, whereas these are a little bit more uniform in length and you have more of that flat top appearance to it. So that was the brand new classic cheek brush. And lastly, we have another brush that has the blended fibers, both dyed and undyed goat hair, and this one is called the Master Face. I was really excited about this brush because it's also very unique to her line, and today I used it for my final buff using the Guerlain Meteorites, and it did a wonderful job applying my meteorites in a very smoothing layer, very blended, very seamlessly applied, sheer application of powder, which is what I absolutely love, and the brushes are just a joy to use. If I were going to compare this to a brush that is existing to her line, I would compare it the most to the Inoshige brush, with the exception that the Inoshige brush is strictly dyed goat hair and it has a teardrop shape. So the Master Face brush is more domed, so if you can imagine removing the tip of the Inoshige brush, you might have something that looks like this. This brush is also a little bit more dense than the original Inoshige brush. I can't stop petting them. They are so soft and stunningly beautiful. They are a luxury product to use. They make your makeup application so pleasant, and I absolutely love them. Now, I did purchase these brushes myself. I have purchased absolutely every single brush that Sonia G has ever released, and we're not talking about a small amount of money. So when I recommend these brushes, I do so wholeheartedly because the quality is there, and the joy in applying your makeup that you obtain from using using brushes like this is just incredible. If you want to splurge and treat yourself to a beautiful brush set, I don't think you're going to regret this. I always think that it's important to hear a review from someone that is spending their own money on the brushes. I know that she has since started sending out PR to a lot of people who have already done reviews, so I hope that my voice adds a little bit something extra and that you know I did spend my hard-earned money to purchase the brushes, and I am very, very pleased with my purchase. Overall, I am so in love with these brushes. If you can't already tell, I love them so much. They definitely spark joy when I just look at them and I hold them and I feel them. They're just beautiful, beautiful brushes. Now, I was reading Sonia's blog where she gave some information about the brushes. She does intend to make them permanent if all goes well, and by the sellout of the initial launch, I'm assuming things are going very well. So hopefully she's able to have them produce more brushes so that people can purchase them, and I believe it is her intention to sell the different brushes individually. So in case you're watching this video later on in time when the brushes are available individually, I have to say that my two favorites, I love them all. It's hard to pick a favorite, but for sure I'm going to take the Soft Cheek. If you're someone that has a heavy hand with blush, or you struggle with blush application, or ending up with, you know, a little bit more intensity than you would like, something like this allows you to still use the similar amount of pressure that you usually would, but achieve a more diffused, lighter application of product. And I just think that it's so different from the other brushes in her collection that I would definitely recommend the Soft Cheek. I would also definitely recommend the Master Face because this is going to be so versatile. I used it for finishing powder today, but you can use this for bronzer, you can use this for all over face powder, you can use it for blush as well. So I just think it's a very versatile brush and it feels amazing on the skin. This is just stunning. And then I have to pick one more. And I think I'm going to go with this smaller mini cheek brush. And the reason for that is because it's very similar in shape to the classic cheek. And the classic cheek does have the advantage that you would be able to use it a little bit easier with cream products. But I do love a small brush. I think they're very versatile. And this one would be excellent for highlighting as I used it today. But you can also definitely use it for very precise under eye setting if you like a really light layer of powder. So my next favorite would have to be the mini cheek. Now, I absolutely love them all, so I definitely recommend the set if it's something you would like to pick up. I would love to hear your thoughts if you picked up the collection and how you're enjoying using the brushes and what is your preferred use for each of the different brushes in your makeup routine. So this is it for my review of the Sonia G Sky Face set. I absolutely love the brushes. She did a phenomenal job and I just cannot wait to see what else she has in store for us. I'm the proud owner of all of her brushes and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. It's an investment for sure, but it definitely elevates your makeup application. It's a luxury experience. I think when you apply your makeup, it's a little bit of self-care, a little bit of me time, and I want to make it as pleasant as possible. And these brushes definitely help me do that. So absolutely beautiful job on the brushes. I hope you're enjoying them if you bought them yourself. And if you're waiting for them to come back in stock, definitely follow her on Instagram. She usually gives you some notice about when the products may be available again soon. So that's everything for my review. If you have any questions that I didn't touch upon during the video, please leave those in the comment section down below for me. I'd love to help you out as best as I can. Otherwise, I hope you're having an amazing day. Thank you always for spending a few minutes of your day with me. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon on my next one. Bye-bye.